today I want to talk to you about entertainers and athletes. What kind of visas do they need?
So typically the non-immigrant visas that entertainers and athletes utilize is the P visa and the O visa. Now the P visa is generally used for the athletes. This would be a track and field athlete that is coming over for an event, or the MMA fighter that is coming over for an event, or some of the soccer players that plays in the Major League Soccer. Mm-hmm. The O visa is more commonly used for artists that would come to Kansas City or that come to the US. And so the O visa has a little bit of a different criteria, utilizes an agent, and the length of the O visa is also determinative on the event. So say for instance, Adele would come over to the United States to perform. We would get her an O visa, and the length of the visa would be for the time that she would spend in the United States, maybe a show in Kansas City, something in Vegas, something in LA, something in New York. But there's also some downtime, so the visa covers the entirety of that time. And if you can show on a schedule basis that she may be back next year, you can even ask for a 2-year visa, so you don't need to go through the process over and over again.
Now here you use the term extraordinary ability. What does that mean? How is that determined?
So immigration basically has a criteria wherein the ultimate extraordinary ability athlete would be someone who participated in the Olympics in an event and won the gold medal. Mm-hmm. So that's kind of the easiest extraordinary ability green card that you can get. But if you haven't gone to the Olympics, haven't won a gold medal, there is then 10 criteria of which you need to meet 3. And typically the most common criteria that most of these athletes or entertainers or artists meet are that they've been published quite widely in major news media, the New York Times or ESPN and so on and so forth. Number 2, that they maybe have won some national or international awards. It doesn't go into detail with regards to having won awards and coming in first place, second place or third place, but just some internationally recognized awards. Mm-hmm. And 3rd, that they belong to an association that requires outstanding achievement of its members. So most of the folks who come over to play in Major League Soccer, as for instance, they obviously play at the highest level of soccer in the United States and Canada. And so these are kind of the basic criteria that most of these folks meet. There's some other criteria that some of our artists meet, where they've been judges at some of the events that play in Carnegie Hall and some of these other locations that also qualifies them as extraordinary.
Legal Talk has been paid for by Versfeld and Hugo Law Firm. For more information, visit versfeldlaw.com.